Okay, this is my take two. Let's see if I can actually do this the right way this time. But what I want to show you is how I do some of my blooms. I don't have any, one coaster left, and then some smaller canvases that we'll do, but I wanted to kind of give you a quick idea of my setup. So this is actually on the gaming table that just has a clear plastic tarp on it. I do have a tiny bit of my Glidden Essentials, which is what I use as my pillow paint. And then what I'm going to use as my pouring medium today, I do have the Behr 8300, which works as my deep base. And then I mix that in about a 1:3 ratio with the Josanya, the gloss varnish. I will say that I don't do a strict 1:3. I usually base it mostly on consistency, because that's what I used to kind of do most of my pouring. And I have most of my colors already pre-mixed from the past couple of videos that I still have some left on, so that's what I'm going to use tonight. However, I did want to add, so I have this Decoart Americana like orange neon that I think I'm going to try to add tonight. So I do need to mix that up, so I can show you kind of a little bit about what that looks like. So once I take my orange paint here, and I'm just going to add that to my cup. This isn't too thick, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll put a big old gloop there. And then, like I said, most of this I do by consistency. So I'm going to add my ball glass jar here that's got my pre-mix pouring medium with the Behr 8300 and the Josanya. And I'm going to kind of gloop some in there and kind of see how we're doing with consistency wise. Now I've mixed enough because I have the little baby cups from the Fluid Art Co. that are great for making sure my colors stay fresh over several different uses. So let me go ahead and mix this up and kind of see how we're doing consistency wise. So when I look at this, this is pretty thick. So I am going to add a little bit of the Josanya just to kind of thin it out just a little bit, kind of bleep it on there. So if I keep mixing, I'm looking for really where when I spread it, that I get the mound to kind of appear for just a second or two. That actually looks really good. Okay, then I have my other colors that I'm going to try to incorporate tonight, and we'll kind of see how this goes. I have a couple of different colors of Cell Activator, although I will tell you I'm partial for the black Cell Activator. Just in my experience, it has always worked really well for me, so I'm not 100% sure why that is, but that's just kind of how it works. That I do have mixed with my Australian Floetrol, so that's already pre-mixed, ready to go. So let me go ahead and bring out my main worker here for tonight, which is going to be my spinner. I'm going to slide this over just a tiny bit here. And this is my spinner from Amazon that has been my absolute favorite. My husband and my children got it for me for Christmas, and it's just been absolutely amazing to use. It has a really smooth spin, don't have any problems with it. Now, anytime I do paintings, I do add a layer of shower caps. So these were just ones I bought, like a package of 200 on Amazon. Super easy to add on, and it's really just to make sure that I don't get any paint on the aluminum. It also makes it easy to save the paint skins later. I think I need a couple more popsicle sticks. Hang on just a second here. And then I think I have a tiny bit of my white pillow that I'm going to use. I'm going to try to use that up tonight. And then I think I'm going to try, so I got a brand new Color Art to go, that's the black. I might try that tonight, I think, for my pillow for the two canvases. So let me get this going first. I have my remnants of my last coaster that really just didn't work out too well last time. So let me get this opened up. All right, so here we go. So for my pillow, I have the Glidden Essentials Interior White Paint. I'm gonna add here, which I think I have a little bit more than that than I thought I did. Okay, now I've really been liking the color combinations with the blue or the kind of tealish color on the bottom. So I think I'm gonna start there. And one of my favorite colors that I've been starting with is the Amsterdam Pthalo Blue. I just love it in the background color. So I'm gonna check my consistency, make sure it hasn't changed from earlier this week. I'm gonna start there. Now whatever color you choose to be your base ends up being your predominant color in your balloon. So I always try to keep that in mind. And then I wanna balance that with some of the sparkles and stuff that I have available. So this next one that I have, this is actually one of the mica powders from Michaels. It's from their Recollections section. It's about half the price of the TLPs, but I've really found that it really still provides the same kind of level of sparkle that I want. So this is their Recollections Turquoise mica pigment. That gives us a really nice shine. I think I'm gonna balance that. I'm gonna use my permanent red violet from Amsterdam. I want that to be pretty prominent. I'm gonna add that as a layer. Then I'm gonna add, this is the red blue Michael's Recollections. I'm almost out where I need to remix some more of this, but that's okay for tonight. I'm gonna add that to the top. Get some sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Now it's kind of where I have some decisions on how crazy I want to get with the colors in the coaster. So I do want to add a little bit. This is actually the neon pink from the Decoart. So I want to add a little bit of that because it really does give a great highlight of color. And then one of my absolute favorite colors that I've been using so far is the Amsterdam Ultramarine. I just love how bright blue it is. It's amazing. I've used it as a base for several. This one's kind of going on a top layer, so it'll be a little bit different. And then now really kind of where I'm at is I need to decide what I want to do for my cell activator. And I'm really partial towards the black. I know I've said that quite a bit, but because I have the white base, I think what I'll do is I might do a combination of the gold. And this is actually from the Decoart gold. I tried the Amsterdam gold and I think it's a little bit too transparent. It just doesn't come out right. And then I have the black Oxide mixed with my Australian Floetrol. This other one. And one thing, I don't know if you can see, I'm hoping you can, is that once I put the cell activator down, you can kind of see a ring that starts to form around it right about here. That's actually a really good sign that you have your cell activator mixed correctly because it starts to separate, which is really what we want it to do. We want it to make those beautiful cells. So I'm gonna add my black here. Then I'm gonna blow it out and kind of see what we end up with tonight. So what I always think about when I'm blowing is that I want to blow across, like if you're trying to make a bottle make a sound rather than blowing into the bottle. When I do this, I also need to make some choices because when I blow, I'm blowing out the colors as well. So how much those blend is really kind of up to me. A lot of this is gonna spin off when I spin it. So if I've decided that I wanna add any kind of swirly-doos here, I'm gonna go ahead and do that a little bit now. So those kind of come out. Got a little bit of muddiness there, so I'm hoping that'll separate out a little when I spin. Not quite as clear as I would have liked. Let's see what happens. Give it a good spin. This is my Peroma 12-inch aluminum spinner, cake spinner that I got for Christmas for my husband and my children. And one of my favorite gifts, oh, that's actually really pretty. I like the gold. I kind of wish it would have separated a little bit more, but get some really great color combinations in there. See if I can get that to separate just a little bit more. One more good spin. That's really interesting. Not so much as the cells this time, but I did get some really great kind of color streaks and lines and stuff formed in here. So I do like that. So I think I am gonna go ahead and keep that one. So I'm gonna use my, well, I'm gonna attempt to use my little spatula here. And scoop this one up I'll set this one to the side here before I do that so you can kind of see some of the colors, hopefully. Do a little quick shot of these afterwards. Hopefully you'll be able to see those. Okay, so from here, I have some little 4-inch canvases. These are kind of new, so this will actually be a little bit interesting for me. I'm gonna try one more with the white as the pillow, just because I had some left in this cup. So let me get kind of the rest of this down. And this time, I'm gonna change up my order and I'm gonna start with the Ultramarine. Again, one of my all-time faves. I'm always kind of temperamental towards it. But then I think I'm gonna do my sparkles with the Turquoise. And now I think I'm gonna actually add a little bit of the red and the hot pink kind of in here and see kind of what how that changes the color layout. So tonight's all about experimentation. We'll see what kind of it comes out with. I got some of the red. Let's do a little bit of the pink. I still want to add my Pthalo blue. Yeah, this one I love when that color spreads out. It's got some great matches with some of the other colors. I have my permanent red violet. Add that kind of more central. And then a little bit of sparkle with my red blue from my Michael's Recollections. And I think this time I'm just gonna do, you know what, be a little bit crazy. I'm gonna do a little bit of my white. And on my white cell activator, like I said, I've always been kind of hit or miss. I get good cells when I do it, but just kind of haven't decided I'm preferential for it. But I'm gonna do a little bit of white. I'm gonna do my black right on top of it. Kind of get some two tones there and see what this looks like. Here we go. Oh, that's really pretty. I can see lots of different colors there. So I gotta decide how much I want to rack it and kind of from what direction. I want to do lots of squiggles or just kind of some curlicues. I think that'll actually be pretty good for that one. Let it drag just a little bit too much more than I like, but that's okay. Let's kind of spin down. I want to make sure I get enough paint on it to where it covers the sides when it spins out. So let's kind of see what we got. Oh, that's interesting. You can see lots more of the white coming through with the colors kind of being more of the peacock cells. I'm spin a little bit more so I can get down the rest of the sides. Oh, it's definitely more subtle, but you can see the paint's kind of going along the edge here. Would like it to drip a little bit more. Let me see. I tilted. It looks like I've spun it most of the way out. I probably didn't have enough pillow paint, but I'm kind of happy with how that looks. I love the little sparkles that I got here. Let me hold this up so you can kind of see. You can see the little ribbons of sparkle that I have in there. It's pretty neat. Set that in there. Okay, for this next one, this one will be a little bit different. I haven't used this base before, so this will be a new experience. This is actually my color to go. This is the Black Magic color by Sherman Sherman Williams, I'm sorry. Now if I can get it to open, we'll be all set. There we go. So you can see this one's a very kind of darkish gray almost color. So I don't have a fancy pouring spout yet. It's on my list, but let's start with, this is also a little bit thinner, so I need to be mindful of that because it does change a little bit about how the color spreads when I do those. And now, if I think about my color one on the bottom, I want a very bright color to be there because I want it to really shine through. And since I just mixed it tonight, I think I'm actually gonna start with my neon orange and kind of see what I can do with this and maybe some of the blues there. So I'll start with that one. Then I think I'm gonna add a little bit of my red. You can see some color separation, so that's again one of those signs that my pillow might be a little bit thinner than the rest of my paints. From here, I'll go into some of my sparkles. So I'm gonna start with my turquoise and add that on top. Let's do my phthalo. And again, I don't know how this is gonna come out, but we're gonna see together. From here, I'm gonna switch and do my ultramarine. More of that in the center. Then I'll do my red violet kind of purple color, topped off with some of the red violet. I think the only color I haven't used yet is the pink, but I might hold off on that one. And then from here, I did kind of like the white and black combo, so let's try the white and the black cell activator with this dark background and kind of see what that does. I'm a science teacher by heart, so I love getting to experiment and kind of try some different things and see what happens. It's always a great time to play. Okay, let's see what happens with this dark background. I can definitely see the thinner pillow paint kind of makes a huge difference here. Definitely did not have to blow as hard to get the paint to spread. That also meant that I had a little bit of a harder time getting my cell activator to kind of move around a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how this spins out. Let's see what happens. So that's actually kind of muted. I don't know if I like that one. It does have some kind of secret colors in there, but I don't think I had enough bright colors to kind of bring out on the dark background. Well, let's see, that's okay. It's all about experimentation. Oh, I do love some of the sparkles on the side with the red, blue that's in there. It's very subtle, so I might see what that looks like when it dries. Okay. So then our last one we're gonna try tonight is actually gonna be this big piece here. And I'm gonna see, hope, and pray that I have enough of my white base to do this next one. Because the one I tried a couple nights ago accidentally really messed up. And when my husband was trying to be helpful and get it unstuck from the bottom of the container, he accidentally smudged it, which kind of destroyed the whole rest of the painting that was left. Oh yeah, I should have plenty. When you use a bigger kind of canvas, you got to be really careful and make sure you have enough to spread to the corners so that it's able to spin out correctly. Otherwise, you end up with kind of some bald spots, and we definitely don't want that. Okay, so on this one, I want to use a little bit more paint because I'm trying for a bigger bloom, but I want to start with my Ultramarine. Can I get a good amount of that here in the middle because I really want that to be the predominant color. Directly on top of that, I think I'm going to do my sparkly turquoise. And then I'm going to alternate that. I think I'm going to go with some of my pink. I might forgo the orange for right now. Save that for another one. Add a little bit of that. some of the red. Go with some phthalo blue. What I really like about this one, I'm really kind of curious to try what the phthalo green looks like, but I love the phthalo colors because when they spread out, they just get these beautiful hues on them. Let's see. Then I'm going to have my permanent red violet, my darker kind of purple color. And then the last one for my cell activator, I'm going to use my Michael's red violet for some more sparkle. Now on this one, I think I'm going to do a little bit of my gold and my black cell activators and see how that does. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to blow across, and the idea here is I want to kind of spread it out since this is a bigger canvas and I do have a little bit more. Also looks like I probably should have pre-spun it to make sure I had enough room, but it should be all set. Let's see what this one looks like. I was able to get a lot of really good colors there. I can blow out some of the cells to get some of the, or the colors that aren't with the cell activator to get some gradients there. And then I'm gonna use my stick here and I wanna do some kind of little swirlies for the little prongs. I don't want those to be just kind of random like that. This is where you can really let your creative side kind of show what, as Bob Ross would say, what do the little squiggles tell you to make them happy. Interesting to have this kind of white negative space here, so we'll see what that looks like when I spin it. I do have a lot of pillow paint, so I suspect this is going to spread out quite easily. Actually, I had more pillow paint than I thought I did. Oh yeah, get a good spin there. I can take a look and see if I want to add any more doodads with my skewer. Oh wow, that's really pretty. Now I do kind of want to, let's see if I have enough paint, I can still kind of tilt this a little bit. Oh, I've done a pretty good job spinning it out. I don't have a whole lot of paint left on here, but I do have a lot of really great gradients. I have a couple bubbles that I want to make sure go ahead and take care of. Or in this case, get rid of a little booger that I have and then make it look like that was on purpose. Oh, I love the gold right there. It almost looks like a giant leaf that's in the way. Let me spin this out just a tiny bit more. Just let that kind of level a little, but I really like that. Let me grab my tray. And for my trays, when these are done, I really just use those handy foil kind of trays with some popsicle sticks to make sure that they don't bump into each other. That's really pretty. Not quite the same as the one I accidentally destroyed, but you definitely can see the same kind of patterns. Very nice. Hopefully you can see all those got a little bit of negative space in there. Let me share that there. And then in just a minute, I'll record my final after videos, but thank you for joining me. I hope that was fun and you can kind of see some of my thought process. Oh, this is gonna be some really pretty skins afterward when it dries as well. But thank you so much for joining me.